You're grinding every day. Long hours, no backup, no accountability. That ends now. The Empower Solopreneur Mastermind gives you one simple advantage: a weekly power session that turns isolation into domination. Every Friday morning on Zoom, you'll get real coaching and real feedback to make real moves. Join a group of driven professionals in a program designed for solopreneurs and people working at home. Stop getting stuck. Start scaling. Seats are limited. Lock in yours today at modernobserver.com/empower-mastermind.
Israel negotiates with Syria. Venezuela giving oil to the U.S. The world's first commercially available flying car goes into production, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The United States, Israel, and Syria announced Tuesday that senior Israeli and Syrian officials met in Paris under U.S. auspices, marking a renewed diplomatic push that includes plans for closer security coordination and potential economic engagement. A joint statement released by the three countries described the talks as being part of President Donald Trump's broader vision for advancing peace in the Middle East. The discussion focused on respect for Syria's sovereignty and stability, Israel's security, and prosperity for both countries. According to the statement, Israel and Syria reaffirmed their commitment to pursue lasting security and stability arrangements and agreed to establish a joint fusion mechanism described as a dedicated communication cell. The mechanism is intended to facilitate ongoing coordination on intelligence sharing, military de-escalation, diplomatic engagement, and commercial opportunities under U.S. supervision. The United States commends these positive steps and remains committed to supporting the implementation of these understandings as part of broader efforts to achieve enduring peace in the Middle East. When sovereign nations cooperate in a respectful and productive way, prosperity will be unleashed. This joint statement reflects the spirit of today's great meeting and the sides' determination to turn a new page in their relations for the benefit of future generations, the statement concluded. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, President Trump said of the Venezuelan government, "I do get the sense that they're cooperating." He also said, "We have to nurse the country back to health." Despite Maduro's capture, his government seemingly remains intact, with his vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, the acting president. In a post to Truth Social yesterday evening, President Trump said that the interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50 million barrels of high-quality sanctioned oil to the United States of America. He went on to say that the oil would be sold at market price and that he would control the proceeds, which would be used to benefit the people of Venezuela and the United States. Iranian protesters issued a direct appeal for help from Donald Trump on Tuesday as unrest continued to spiral across the nation for the 10th day. The appeal, shared on X, showed a woman holding up a sign with the words, "Trump, a symbol of peace, don't let them kill us," on it. The woman's cry for help came amid reports of at least 29 deaths and more than 1,200 arrests, according to the human rights activists' news agency. HRANA also reported an escalation in force by security units, including the use of pellet guns, tear gas, and direct assaults on demonstrators. The Supreme Court is expected to rule on Trump's global tariffs for the first time on Friday. "We have a big Supreme Court case," Trump told House Republicans Tuesday. "I hope they do what's good for our country. I hope they do the right thing. The president has to be able to wheel and deal with tariffs." Acting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Todd Lyons said Tuesday the agency is carrying out the largest immigration operation ever in Minneapolis. He said Department of Homeland Security law enforcement, under the leadership of Secretary Kristi Noem, has surged to Minneapolis to target fraud, arrest perpetrators, and remove criminal illegal aliens. One day after announcing he was scrapping his re-election bid, Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota vocally pushed back against calls by Republican state lawmakers to resign amid the state's sweeping fraud scandal. I'm not going anywhere, and you can make all your requests for me to resign. Over my dead body will that happen, Walz told reporters as he answered questions for the first time since his stunning re-election announcement. The embattled governor ended his bid for an unprecedented third term amid stinging criticism from Republicans and some Democrats over his handling of his state's massive welfare assistance fraud scandal. Hilton has dropped the Minneapolis hotel that canceled the bookings of ICE agents earlier this week, according to the hotel operator. A Hampton Inn hotel, which is a Hilton brand, allegedly refused to put up ICE agents for the night, according to a social media post from the Department of Homeland Security. California-based Aleph Aeronautics has begun mass production of its Model A, the world's first modern flying car that can drive on roads and take off vertically. Last year, the company released footage of the vehicle completing a test flight in San Mateo, rising from a closed roadway and flying over another car without external tethers. The fully electric Model A has a driving range of around 200 miles and a flight range of 110 miles, with manufacturing beginning at the company's Silicon Valley facility, where each unit will be hand-assembled over several months. Aleph has received over 3,500 pre-orders, valued at roughly $1 billion for the $300,000 vehicle, which has already earned FAA Special Airworthiness certification, making it the first vehicle of its kind cleared to fly in the United States. That's the Raw Naked Truth for January 7th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.